This presentation will explain how to do a Boolean search on Westlaw using terms and connectors. The case we have chosen is State v. Leach. This is the Blue Book format of citing this particular case, State v. Leach. In order to find this in the reporters in the library, you would need to know how to read this citation. So, starting at the left, we have State v. Leach, which is underlined, and that is the case title. Then you'll want to put a comma and a space after that. And then we have 148, which will be the reporter volume, a space after that. Then we have SW, which is the reporter title, and SW is Southwestern. Then we have 3D, which is the edition. So that will be found in the third edition. And following the edition, we have the number 42, which is the page number. In parentheses, we have Tennessee year 2004. And Tennessee is the jurisdiction for which this case was heard. 2004 is the year the case was decided. So if you were going to the library to find this particular case in the reporters, you would go to the Southwestern Reporter, 3rd edition, volume 148, page 42, and that is where this case would start. Now here in this white box at the bottom, you will see how the citation looks on Westlaw. So if you were needing to take your case from Westlaw and cite it using the Blue Book format, you could take the information here in the white box and be able to format it properly as I just explained. Here are a few fast facts about the case that will help us in our search. The defendant was previously charged with burglary in another state. He moved to Nashville, Tennessee, and got a job working at Denny's. He lived in the Econo Lodge Motel nearby. Soon after his move, he broke into the home of two elderly women in an attempt to rob them. The elderly women were home at the time, and the defendant strangled and sexually assaulted both women. He fled the scene before the police arrived and left bloody footprints behind and essentially his DNA, which is how he was caught.
The first term and connector is quotations. If you put quotations around premeditated murder, it will bring up that exact phrase. As you see, our case was the first to come up on the list, State versus Leach. Second term and connector we are using is the ampersand symbol. As you see here, we use the term strangled, ampersand, elderly women, and it brings up the terms not in any particular order, but before and after in each case. As you see, our case here is State versus Leach. The third term and connector is the /P, which means same paragraph. If you use two terms, like for instance, we're using flee /P Canada, it'll bring up both terms in the same paragraph in each case. On this slide, we're using the quotation marks, the ampersand, and the /S. The /S means same sentence. As you see, we use bloody footprints. So in our case, it brings up plural bloody footprints, and the ampersand sign tennis shoes /DNA, same sentence. As you see, tennis shoes and DNA.
On this search, we used two connectors, which were the pound sign and the /P. The pound sign before a word brings you only the singular form. It takes out all plural forms of that word. So we chose pound laceration /P, which is the same paragraph as ligature strangulation. And as you can see, our case was the second case that came up with that search.
This concludes the end of our presentation on State versus Leach, terms and connectors, and this was given to you by Ingrid Calvin
and Amanda Presley.